Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Fire Talk, where we give you the latest news and updates on Southeastern University athletics. I'm Ken Ingle, president of Southeastern University. And, of course, joining me, as always, is Drew Watson, our wonderful director of athletics. Good to see you, Drew. How's things going in the world of athletics?
Good to see you, Dr. Ingle. Well, we had a big weekend. It was our football season opener at Victory Field. Had almost 2,000 people, 1,889.
Great attendance.
We'll talk about what happened on the field in a few minutes, but it was a really special night in so many ways. As always, you were there right in the middle of everything. What were your thoughts on the game?
It was almost like the perfect game. I mean, you had incredible weather. Low humidity, we had a kind of a cold front or something come through.
Yeah.
But a cold front for us is like it drops 5 degrees. But no, perfect weather, great attendance. The students were on fire.
They were on fire.
They were ready for it. So it was an amazing weekend, and of course then a big win, 34-0.
Yes.
Shut out Faulkner.
Well, Faulkner was our first game, as you've noted on this show before, first game in history.
Yep.
And we've gone back and forth with them, over history. We've probably split in the games that we played, but we've never had a game like this where we completely dominated them.
Yeah.
I had a great crew at the tent. We had from all accounts, an all-time high of faculty and staff at the game, which was almost 195. And it's just really thankful for our faculty and staff, our community coming out to support the team.
Yeah, the whole night was just an amazing time. And if you haven't been to a Fire football game, you need to get out. It's an incredible atmosphere, a lot of fun, great game experience. And, so we're off to a good start.
Yeah, exciting.
All right, let's talk football in terms of, what's next and what's going on. So, with this win, the Fire dominated again. It was an outstanding game. It also snapped an actual 2-game losing streak against the Eagles, right? Because we had lost the last 2 against Faulkner.
Yes, absolutely. Well, when you talk to Coach, I asked him, what were the goals going into the game? He said, we just want to play a clean game, no turnovers, keep the penalties low, and gives ourselves a chance to win. The penalties were not substantial, and we did only turn the ball over 1 time. And then you look at the rushing yards. I mean, it
was amazing ground game.
We rushed for 233 yards on 51 attempts. They had 8 yards rushing. Yeah. So our defense stepped up, and it just seemed like whenever they had a play and looked like they were going to get something going, we just slammed the door. And so it was, I think one of the things that is great when a coaching staff can come up with, okay, here are our strengths that kind of match up with their weaknesses, and I think we can dominate there. So obviously we felt like our improved offensive line was going to get it done and just kept handing the ball off, and they couldn't stop us.
Well, if they keep playing like that, we're going to have a great season and maybe a conference championship.
Yeah.
Who knows? It was fun to watch for sure. When's the next game? We
play number 18 Reinhardt University next Saturday, not this coming, but next Saturday, the 14th. It's Faculty Staff Appreciation Day that day. And last year we upset then number 10 Reinhardt at Reinhardt, then went to Faulkner the next week and lost in overtime.
That game. I remember that.
And so, hopefully we can build on the momentum that we got this past weekend and really take it to Reinhardt as they show up here in town.
And again, they're ranked 18th, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right, let's talk women's soccer. Exciting weekend on the other side of campus as we had 2 soccer home games this weekend. We'll talk about the ladies first. Fire hosted number 14th ranked Truett McConnell on Saturday afternoon with the game ending in a 1-1 tie. Sounds like it was a close game.
It was, but when you look at the stats, you'll see that we gave up a PK in the first half to go down 1-0. And then when you see the shots on goal, we dominated 19-5 on shots on goal, but just couldn't get the one we needed to win the game. So Katie Carnes tied the game about 26 minutes left. We're going to see that goal right now.
Okay, let's take a look at
it. So this is on a corner. Gets put into the middle there, and she just gathers it and puts it right past the goalie on the left side. Just really, I always marvel at soccer players who can collect the ball so quickly and then put something right on net. So it was a game I felt we dominated, but we just unfortunately just left with a tie, which I'm sure is disappointing the team, but it's a long season. Just trying to build on it.
Yeah, I know ties have to be frustrating for the coaches, but I'm sure they're ready to get back out there. When do they play again?
They travel to Foley, Alabama.
Okay.
This weekend they play number 3 Tennessee Southern on Friday, and then number 2 William Carey on Sunday. So big weekend for the Fire. Last year we played these two teams. Last year's schedule didn't really give us a lot of soccer before this weekend, so we played a little bit more soccer, and I think the coach and team are ready to go.
Yeah, and on the men's side, on Monday, Labor Day, they had a matinee. They beat Montreat 3-0. This 3-0. This was a nice bounce back for the guys having some time off, pretty much, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've had a couple weeks off, but they played very well on Monday. They outshot the Cavaliers 27-14. Corey Nekoloff had 2 goals. Fabio DePaula added the third. Let's take a look at one of Corey's goals. This is his second goal, and we see a little bit more of how it develops here up the right side. And you just see really good passing from the Fire here, and it really ends up in a push pass across the goal here, and it's happened. Wow. I mean, that's about as easy as it gets. And just really, really excited for the guys. Montreat came down here, played Warner a couple days before they played us, and it's nice to get that first win of the season for the men.
Great to see the guys dominate like that. What's next for them?
They have some time off here as they don't play until a week from today at Thomas University.
All right, looking forward to that. Volleyball. Now the volleyball team has had some time off since they last played. What's coming up for them?
They haven't played since August 24th. It's a long break, and they've had some time to really gel as a team. They practice right below my office, so I've been watching them. They've been some spirited practices. They finally get back into match play when they head to Florida Memorial this weekend for the Sun Conference opener.
All right. Seems like they've been on the road for a long time, but they will be playing at the Furnace next Wednesday, September 11th, so everyone should make sure to get out there for the home opener against New College of Florida, brand new college in our conference, right?
Brand new Sun Conference team, so looking forward to that.
We're excited. All right, the sponsor for today's show, Coca-Cola Beverages Florida. We love to talk about all the good things happening in Fire athletics, and those things can't happen without the support of all of our amazing sponsors. Coca-Cola Beverages Florida is proud to distribute the world's most delicious, sparkling energy, water, juice, tea, coffee beverages to over 18 million Floridians every single day. Honored as the 2020 Minority Business Enterprise Supplier of the Year, Class 4. Coca-Cola Beverages Florida demonstrates solid business performance, strong community involvement, and a commitment to supporting and expanding supplier diversity. Family-owned independent bottler, Coca-Cola Beverages Florida is the official soft drink of Fire Athletics at Southeastern University. All right, let's talk about cross country. Last but not least, we want to talk about the amazing cross country team who have their opening meet this coming weekend at Holloway Park. And joining us today is to discuss all things track and field, or no, excuse me, I'm sorry, cross country. I'm already way ahead. I'm ready. And Paul Kurtz, who's been an amazing coach and has led how many years now, Paul?
13.
13 years. Amazing job leading our cross country. And then we also have Grace Seder with us. Welcome to the show. Thank you for taking time to stop by today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Welcome. My first question is for you, Grace. Tell us about where you're from and a little bit about your family, and also tell us how you got here to SEU, how you ended up choosing Southeastern.
Yes, definitely. So I am originally from Minnesota, which is the opposite end of the country.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we get a lot different weather. So
Right.
part of my motivations for coming down here to Florida was to be in a different location, to grow and branch out. And I first found about the university from my mom. She went to Evangel, which is slightly affiliated.
Yep.
She just knew that Southeastern had the campus here in Florida. And she was the one who first encouraged me to come, and I'm so thankful for that. Speaking of my mom, she is definitely the best, and the rest of my family is 3 younger sisters, and it's amazing to be with all sisters. Sometimes I wish for a brother, but all girls it is.
Yeah.
Where are you in that order of
I'm the
kids?
oldest
You're the
of
oldest, okay.
3 other younger daughters.
Okay, got it.
All right, great. Well, we're excited about this year. Paul, tell us a little bit about the teams, and who are the runners that we need to keep an eye on as the season gets underway?
It's actually a really different year for us. We had a lot of freshmen come in this year, new runners. Not all freshmen, some transfers, but mostly freshmen. So we have a lot of new faces. Biggest team on both sides that we've ever had. I think we have 20 women and 18 guys. We lost a few kids last year that were good runners. We lost John Perez Dunn. He graduated, and he's on to doing bigger and better things. But I think we have a really good group of guys coming in that will take his place. Not necessarily as fast as he was, but we have a strong core of guys that will kind of fill in behind what he did, and I think carry us pretty well on the guys' side. Josh Shields is going to be a senior this year. He's steadily gotten improved every year. Nathan Evans, he's also another year older and stronger, so he's doing much better. And a very good freshman guy class coming in again, which I'm really excited about. We have probably the fastest recruit I've ever had, who Toby Dickerson is his name, and he's a 15:43, I think, a 5K runner from high school. Yeah. He actually grew up in Spencerport, New York, which is right where I lived in New York before I came to Florida, so I know his area very well. And it was fun to steal a runner from up there away from my old school.
Yeah.
So that was kind of good. On the women's side, we have S.J. Foreman, who she's a grad student, and she was with us last year. She trained with us, but she didn't compete, so she could save her eligibility for this year after a year of training with me. So we're hoping for big things. She's a 17:42, I think, PR in the 5K, and a very good track runner as well, and like the mile, everything up to the 10K. So excited about her. And then again, we got Grace coming back. We've got Jill Blazer coming back. Both of them are 1 year older and stronger, and excited to see what they do. And then a good group of freshman women coming in as well that are very strong high school runners. 1930 girls from high school is a pretty good time for a high school girl. So we're expecting them to be doing things as well.
Yeah, and you're coming in now as a grad student. Correct? I'm correct on that, right?
Yes, I did my undergraduate in 3 years, so I would have been a traditional senior, but with graduating early, I'm now continuing on as a grad student and using my eligibility.
Yeah, that's great. What have you enjoyed most about being on the team and about being here at SEU?
I think that for the team specifically, the one thing you'll hear a lot with cross country is that the running is hard, but the team gets you through, and I can agree more with that. It's the association with like-minded people who are willing to work hard and who want to have fun and make it enjoyable. They're what really make the experience as a team anything from just telling jokes in the morning when we're running to playing games on the bus when we're traveling to even I continue to meet with alumni that I knew on the team and just have game nights and just grow a really strong network. I think our team is very close-knit. And I would say the same thing carries over for being a student at Southeastern as well. It's one of the benefits for sure is community.
Yeah, so good. Are you all practice running around like Hollingsworth still?
That's one of the places we go. There's quite a few different places we try to get to around the area, but that's on a daily basis, that's probably our biggest place. Then we shoot off from there to around other lakes and things like that.
No, so. I see you guys running every so often as I pass by, but I know you're out there a lot.
So, Coach, you are preseason number 1 for the Sun Conference on the men's side, preseason number 2 on the women's side. How, as a coach, do you deal with, that kind of that could be pressure, now the women are probably like, oh, number 2, we'll show them.
Yeah.
But it's a little different pressure for the men. How do you handle that with the team?
To be honest with you, I don't take the preseason poll that seriously. It's pretty much what we finished last year. Coaches don't really know a lot about what we have. In the cross-country world, it's not a whole lot of, spying on each other to see who you're recruiting and that kind of stuff. So they basically just vote who won last year and who got second and that sort of thing. But it's obviously we want to win and we want to do better than we did last year if we were second. So I am excited about that. I think our guys are excited to try to win again. And I think our women feel they should be up there. So I think they're equally as excited and ready to go for the challenge.
That's good. Yeah. Now, obviously, Grace, the men's and women's cross-country teams practice together. It's unique for your sport, for tennis, for golf. I coached women's basketball for 15 years. We didn't practice with the men's team, but How do you think that uniqueness about your sport, does that help the women's team get better as you're practicing with the men's team? How does that affect you?
I think that having both teams together makes both teams better.
Yeah.
You feed off the energy, especially on the women's side, of the guys. They're faster than us, which they should be, and that definitely pushes you. And they also provide a really fun energy. Our guys' team, they should all be comedians. They're very funny, and they bring energy, and it's sometimes refreshing for the guys specifically. They don't take things necessarily so seriously, and they can be more lighthearted, and it's a really positive atmosphere to be around.
Yeah, well, I've been out there at Circle B so it's a really cool thing. They get together for practice early on a Saturday morning, and Coach cooks breakfast for them under the pavilion there.
Oh wow!
And he's a master. I mean, he can it's like
Definitely.
a pop-up breakfast cafe. But it's just really cool to see your two teams interacting with each other in those situations.
Yeah, that's great. How often you do that every week?
Every time we do a long run, yeah.
Okay.
I have to give them some reason to go out there and run
Sure,
for 15
yeah.
miles.
Wow.
In the
Running
heat
from
and
running from
humidity.
the Gators
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
That is our motivation.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them out there.
Yes.
That's for sure. You know, I'm going to ask both of you this. Our word of the year is fuel the fire. So what does that, how are you going to empower that word of the year, both in the coaching context and as a student athlete?
I would say that for me, when I think about fueling the fire, it really comes down to consistency, intentionality, and action. When you're a student, whether undergrad or master's, there's a lot of things going on. So you have to be really intentional at deciding the things that you want to focus on, and you have to commit your time to that. It's really come down, for me, time management to priorities, because there are a lot of times that you can't do everything. So you need to have a really clear vision. You need to have your goals in line and know what you want so you can take steps to achieving that.
Yeah, well said. Wow, that's
a great
great.
answer. I'm a big Survivor fan, and they always say that fire is your life on Survivor.
Yes, that's right.
So to me, it's like I want to be pouring into my kids the fuel that they need to keep their lives moving on and glowing and doing what they love to do, and also what they want to be in the future. So it's a challenge to me as a coach to think of ways of making running less painful or more exciting or whatever. And I think that's something that I'm constantly trying to think about.
So Grace, there's a lot of people who don't understand running. Okay, I am one of them. So I go to a cross country meet, and I see people crossing the finish line and sometimes losing their breakfast. I'll just put it that way. and I'm sitting there going, what is so fun about this? So how would you answer that question? Like, what about running do you love?
For me specifically, what I love about running is the fact that it is hard. Because I think also often in life it's easy to get comfortable. And when you complete something really hard, like a regular workout or a race, it gives you an extreme sense of accomplishment. And I like getting out of my comfort zone. And it also helps carry over to other aspects of life too. Doing hard things, it feels good to complete them. So running is definitely a motivation. And it becomes a little bit of a feel-good thing too when you start making plans and then when you start hitting those goals. So it definitely carries momentum in it.
That's great.
That's so good. Last question for both of you. As you go through the season and you finish the season and you take time to reflect back, what will define for you both a great season?
For me, it's again kind of just seeing my athletes change as people. I love to win. I love to see people have PRs, but it's the joy I get from the sport is seeing someone who comes in thinking maybe they can't do something, and by the end of the season they're doing it and they believe in themselves and they've accomplished that. So that's the way I kind of get my trophies, I guess, in life is this, and even beyond when they're here, like to see someone go on into the real world and have a family and a job and be succeeding at those things is so much fun for me. I love getting emails from people saying that they're having a baby or, they got a promotion or whatever, and that means a lot to me.
Oh, that's good.
I would say similar with the accomplishments. I definitely have personal goals for myself that I would like to achieve by the end of the season. But also from a team perspective, I think that it becomes a great season when everyone feels like they're a valued member of the team and everyone grows. We have weekly Bible studies for the men's and women's team, and those are such a great experience to hear from everyone and check in during the week. And we also talk a lot about what goes on in our lives, so it could be struggles, it could be achievements, basically anything, but the most fun I've had during seasons is really seeing people grow. And it's really neat to watch from freshman to now I'm a senior or grad student year, the people that I came in with especially, and they're just completely transformed by the program that my coach has set up. You learn so many skills, whether it's hard work, leadership, and then SU's whole culture. By the time you spend 4 years here, you do come out a really different person if you've done it right. So it's honestly incredible to watch the personal growth.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
great. Love that. Love the holistic approach to everything. Yeah.
Well, as Dr. Ingle said, this is your opening meet this weekend. It's the only time you'll run at home. You're the only event this weekend.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so tell us what time the men and women run, and if you're a student out there and you're thinking that's really early, give us a really good reason why they should be out there.
Well, the men run at 7:20, which is, I think, been publicized a little bit wrong in some places. So just hear that, I guess, is the men run at 7:20, the women run at 8 o'clock. It's at Holloway Park, which is about 1.5 miles away, so you could walk there if you had to.
Yeah.
It's a little dangerous. Or run there. If you bring your SEU ID, you'll get in for free. So there's no cost if you have that with you. And the reason why to go see it is every single person I've ever talked to who's gone to a cross-country race who's never been one is amazed by it. And they can't believe how much different it was than what they thought it was going to be. They thought it was just people running and that kind of stuff. And to see the effort that people put into a race and the fact that they give everything they have at the end, and a lot of them do collapse and some of them lose their breakfast and that sort of thing. So that may not be the best part to watch, but it's an amazing thing to watch somebody put themselves through that kind of pain for a goal. And like Grace said, it's a pretty amazing thing to see somebody working towards those things and finish it at the end. So
And there's a ton of energy at those races, and in fact, Coach Kurtz is a pretty mild-mannered guy when you see him here and in the office around campus, but at a meet,
Changes, right?
he is way different, way different. I'm like, who is that yelling? Oh, that's Coach. That's great.
I hope I'm that way this year. My back's been bothering me a lot the last couple of weeks, so I hope I can run around like I normally do. But
That's great.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
I probably will. The adrenaline will be flowing, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, you can always count on him to be cheering for you.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Well, Paul and Grace, thank you so much for stopping by today and visiting with us. Grateful that you're both a part of the Fire family.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
All right, Drew, that wraps it up for today's show. Kind of a quiet weekend at home, but we do have our cross-country meet on Saturday morning, so if you can, get out and catch the Fire running. Make sure you're following the teams on social media or by going to scufire.com for the latest news in Fire athletics.
Good luck to all of our teams this week, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, and go Fire!
Go Fire.